Okay, so here we go on Base Warrior, and Base Warrior is probably one of the most go-to classes for a new player. I mean, not only do you get to play around with just about every single weapon in the game, but you also get to survive your fights. You know, a lot of players, when it comes to the game and they ask for what classes to play, a real veteran of any game will always recommend to you a class that is very sturdy, you know, and has a lot of options for you to play around with. And Warrior is just that. Warrior is a complete kit. It's a complete arsenal, and as you can see here, they can wield just about every weapon in the game, and they are a heavy armored class. But man, I'm telling you, I fell in love with so many weapons. You know, everything from mace. The great sword is awesome. I haven't yet played around too much with daggers, but axe has got to be the most fun thing you can ever enjoy on a warrior. Is all these skills just do so much damage. Look at this. Whirling axe is just so much damage. It feels really wonderful. So I know you guys can get into that. And also the longbow in a warrior is actually a condition weapon. It can be used as a base warrior. It would probably be used more as like power, but it's not really a good option outside of like one of their elite specializations. So you kind of duck that unless you're going to do handbow or something like that. You have the hammer, obviously, which is really good. Actually, I think I have one equipped. So Warrior Hammer is really fun because you can really knock things around. Like any mobs that's trying to cast anything, you can really bully them, and it doesn't do bad damage. And just look how it swings. It even swings with some momentum behind it, just making it really fun. Now, Warrior has all these stances, and these stances are cool because look at this. This one right here, immune to critical hits. That is crazy. So boom, you have stability and you're immune to critical hits for a little bit, right? You have endure pain. You take no damage from incoming attacks. You still, oh my goodness, you're still able to take damage from condition damage, but don't worry because you have this Berserker stance, which reduces the damage of conditions, but only for 1 second. But this is because I'm in the PvP area. In the PvE world, these last a lot longer, and they're very fitting. For PvP, however, you want to use them when something big is about to hit you. But here you have, hold on, let me actually see if I can back up so I can show a little bit more of the base kit. But you have Rampage here, which kind of turns you into a bigger version of yourself and gives you, you know, skills that hit really hard, which is really cool. And you also have Cygnets. Now Cygnets are cool because Cygnets are something you're gonna get used to. Like the healing Cygnet is a Cygnet so powerful, you know, as far as warrior heals go, that it's gonna be your go-to heal always, and it's gonna periodically heal you over time. And also you have all these, so if you're a passive player that just likes to play passive, you can just put all your Cygnets on, and boom, you can gain so much from all this stuff. Your endurance regions 50% faster, improved precision, which is crit, improved power, more damage, and your health regeneration, which is your health Cygnet. And then each one of these actually does something when you pop them. So your Cygnet of stamina actually removes 12 conditions. Now this is really great because even if you're in a PvE environment like fractals or something, there's a lot of fractals that load you up with conditions, like especially burning. Sometimes there's nowhere on the floor sometimes for you to move. You just boom, pop it, and there you go. You literally just like took off all the conditions. I mean, 12 conditions, dude. That's like no one can put, like, this is world. This will save you even in world versus world. You know what I mean? Because it's just so many conditions being removed. And then you have also your shouts, which is really cool, and a lot of warriors go shout specs as well. And basically you're just yelling at people. So if you ever wanted to yell at somebody, now would be your time. And you also have stances. The base warrior is just really dope. You have a lot of stuff you could do. You have a lot of support for your team. Flags, you're gonna get used to this because in PvE you're gonna be using a lot of flags to really support people. And it's not like you sit back and only, you know, watch your flags. You throw them out and then you get in combat and you start messing stuff up. And I'm telling you, Warrior has one of the nastiest bursts in the game, even in its regular state as Warrior. And this is something that you get with the base game, which is free. So let's go into a specialization. So here we have the Berserker. And the Berserker is probably my favorite elite specialization for the Warrior. And the cool thing about this is it's all about that burst. And right now I'm using it as a condition build, but all the skills like that right there, Shadow and Blow, adds conditions and increases your Berserk. Now it's not a condition only build, it's a mixed build, but a lot of times you're just going to focus on staying Berserk almost 100% of the time. So even when you are not berserked, you literally want to be, you know, popping your skills or whatever you have to give you maximum berserk and gonna go in. And the cool thing about this is, you know, your bow, as you can see right here, here's your regular rage skill, right? Skull crack. And then you hit E and all of a sudden it's super enhanced. And look at all those conditions it loads on people, and all the weapons have a different specialty, you know, that's adjacent to being a berserker. And it's really fun, especially if you love dealing out a lot of condition damage. And as you can see, this is the regular combustion shot, is the Warrior's default skill for the longbow, and it does condition damage as well, right? Actually, I'll show you guys that right there. So there it is. It's really light, it's, you know what I mean, but then as soon as you go berserk, right, it turns into this crazy thing, and then you can switch weapons to another weapon and then add even more, you know, damage onto people, which is crazy. So as you can see, and you can almost permanently stay into this. So see, it just dropped right there. Now watch how fast I get it up. Now I can actually hit my ultimate and boom, I'm already back at 100%. I'm just waiting for the berserk cooldown, and I go right into bursting it again. You switch weapons, bam, smash him again, use all your skills, and as you can see, the damage is really crazy. It's a really fun build to play, and stuff like fractals, no matter how high the fractal is, you can always see things melt once a warrior goes berserk, and a lot of people love having berserkers in their group, just for that, because it's just so much crazy damage in its burst. So here you have some of its skills. A lot of times when I play, I actually don't use the skills that are adjacent to this elite specialization, because there's a lot more fun, easier to use skills and funner skills to use. But I do use Shattering Blow because it's just so good at getting your you know, getting you your adrenaline at max again. And the rest of these, a lot of these skills do focus on keeping your adrenaline up. Like this one right here, it says gives like 5 adrenaline, and a lot of the skills do that because you're doing majority of your work in berserk mode. I believe that you get to a point where you even deal damage outside of berserk. As long as your adrenaline is high, you do increase damage as well. So it's pretty cool. I definitely love this elite specialization, and I obviously, because I made this warrior for this, and he's like 50% map completion, so I have played him quite a bit. But I just kind of fell in love with like the Revenant for a little bit, because the Revenant is really fun for like world events and stuff like that. But yep, that's all the ability. It's a really fun class, and it has really nice damage. So if you guys enjoy it, and the survivability is not bad as well either. So definitely consider this if you want to be in conditions. You can also play berserk with the gun and almost one-shot people. It's called gun flame or something like that. Warriors, I don't know if they're still a thing. I mean, you could still do that build and still just about one-shot people, but it's just funny because it AoEs as well, so sometimes you can one-shot multiple people. All right, so here we have the Spellbreaker. Now the Spellbreaker is the warrior's elite specialization for Path of Fire. Now this class is supposed to be all about shutting down spellcasters and just, I would say, people in general, to be honest. Now this class is probably the most sought after class inside of World versus World, just for wins. Now, what this skill pretty much does is remove a boon. It blocks missiles. It's pretty much like a big protection barrier. So say if my whole team's here and you're coming down the steps and you want to AoE something, if I pop this, it's going to strip you of your boons, as well as protect everyone in here from you casting missiles from the outside, which is really crazy. And as you can see here, it still has the adrenaline mechanic, all warriors do, and it has a damage ability, which I believe taunt. Is that a taunt? Something like that? Nah, doesn't. It just strikes your target and removes boons, which is really crazy. And it removes 2 boons from them. So we already know what a boon is. A boon is like this might that we have here. And then you have, wow, full counter actually does damage as well. So when it hits you, I guess this skill explodes on them, which is crazy, and it gives you stability. Let's see. Oh wow, look, I'm attached to this guy. That's pretty funny. So he can't stealth. That's pretty much this class is just really meant to shut people down in a major way, and you can dual wield daggers on this class, which is really crazy. Switch to the sword, but check out some of the other skills here. Sight beyond sight, which is, wow, pretty much a stealth detection, which is pretty crazy, and you have it. So like, I can imagine if you're somebody that really hates stealth classes, you can really shut them down with this class. And you have resistances, you have 11,000 heal plus remove 7 boons, and conditions remove. Oh my goodness. So I'm guessing this is an AoE. Let's actually see the range of this. I'm not really sure. Okay. So it's going to remove boons from you if you have boons, it seems. So you lose your boons and conditions to heal yourself. You're healing yourself for 11,000 though. That's like half your health just about. That's really crazy. And this skill has 2 charges, which is the Spot a Thief skill. That's what we're calling it. Damage increase. Strike foes around you and remove their boons. Deal more damage to foes that lose a boon. So wow, that's a really nice range actually. And Winds has a quite short cooldown. So this is the Spellbreaker. The Spellbreaker is meant to pretty much counter classes and shut people down. So if you want to play a class or whatever that's really good at shutting things down, you would play this class. I'm not 100% sure how you would play this class in PvE. Obviously, you'd probably play it as like a damage dealer, because it still has really good damage. And I'm not even sure how the dual wield daggers work. Let's actually see if we can get another dagger here. We don't. We just have swords. Yeah, we just have a shield here. We don't have another dagger, sadly. But I will say that I've gotten beat up by this class a lot, and I really can't think of anything better to talk about with this class, because it does seem like a PvP class. Like, I can just imagine this class as being a very nightmare. And I've had fought against these classes on my Necro, and they do shut me down. They like perma stun me. And I'm not sure if it's with this. Does this skill stun? No, it just removes. None of these skills stun. I wonder how they stun people. Oh. Removes immobile, so you can't even like freaking get them off of you with this. And this is a daze. Okay, so maybe it's just a daze spam. No, it's 11-second cooldown on that. Wow, look at that. Critical damage increased by 15% just for the auto attack of the dagger, which is really crazy. See if we can switch this out. We can't switch it out now. So let me go a little bit farther away. Okay, let's actually fight this elementalist right here as soon as we switch to Berserker. There we go. We just switched to Berserker, and look at that. She can't really do anything. We're just completely shutting her down. And we had 20 something stacks of might, which is absolutely insane. We don't even need these skills, but we're just gonna press them just to press them. Poor elementalist. Oh, she got me down too. Still, really cool class, all about countering. I like the Berserker a little bit better than this class, but mind you, I haven't actually played this class in anything yet besides here, so there you go.